All right, this was a request from a guy, from my dude in Lithuania, lemon limeade. Here we go. All right, this is a good question, dude. Let me grab. Is KRATOM a good option for a maintenance drug? Obviously a lot of people, they're trying to get off of, it doesn't matter, heroin, oxy, Suboxone, methadone. A lot of people go to KRATOM. And with the goal in mind, usually, is to take it for a fairly short amount of time and then, stop taking that and kind of, get through the acute stage. But as we know, usually that doesn't happen. Usually you stay on KRATOM because, honestly, because a lot of people don't understand. And I just say this so to prepare you guys, like, it's the post-acute withdrawals. That's what, if you are obsessed with trying to find a way out of withdrawal and like somehow get through this and, some special way, like, you know what I mean, without feeling pain, like, it's just not, that's not going to happen. That's just the reality of it. Okay. Which is fine, I don't know, but it is what it is. Okay. And, but anyway, and I tried that before. I got off methadone. I freaking took KRATOM and I learned it the hard way, okay? Ended up being on it for like 6 months and taking a bunch. So yeah, is KRATOM a legit option for a maintenance drug? And kind of my thoughts on it, dude. It's probably gonna be controversial or whatever. I'm gonna make people mad, but I don't care. I'm just gonna tell it like it is from my perspective, okay? I would say no. KRATOM is not a good option for a maintenance drug. And the guy was like, compare Suboxone to methadone, and KRATOM. Methadone to me would be the worst option. The one thing though with KRATOM, this is the thing with KRATOM, you guys. This is the thing with KRATOM. It's not regulated. And I'm sorry, we just don't. Yes, they've been mainly chewing it in Asia for many, in Thailand and stuff. Not doing studies and everything and whatever. It's like, I don't know what it's like, what it does to your body if you take KRATOM for 15, 20 years. I mean, I don't know. It's got alkaloids in it. It's not just like, it's just like an opiate light or something. It is that, but it's kind of other things too. You know what I mean? It's very mental when you come off KRATOM too. So that would be a big reservations, that I look at, if you're legit thinking about taking that as a maintenance drug, and there's everyone's different though. I mean, if you're taking really minimal doses of it, I don't know. But usually what happens is you just trade one for the other and it's hard to, because here's the deal. Say I'll just use this as an example. Like when I got off methadone. So, methadone sucks. Methadone is the worst freaking medicine to get off of that I've ever tried. And I've tried them all. It's terrible, okay? It just, and I didn't do a good job at tapering and stuff, but you're going to get the length of the buprenorphine with the methadone. And then if you're taking a lot of methadone and stuff, you're going to get some pretty intense withdrawals too. So that's why to me it's just the worst. Okay, so let's say you're getting off methadone and you're gonna jump to KRATOM, and then the goal is to, maybe the goal is to take it short term, but it just doesn't happen that way, and you're taking KRATOM, and you're like, well, I'm just gonna take it for like maybe a month, maybe 2 months, maybe even 6 months. But what happens a lot, which that's just way too damn long. Okay, to me, I wouldn't take it at all. I really, really want it, dude. I really, really freaking want it. If you're so afraid of the acute withdrawal, freaking taper a little bit more before you jump, so you don't even go the KRATOM route. I'm telling you right now, dude, you're gonna regret it. You're gonna freaking regret it. Some people do it right. They do. I do talk to some, but like 95% of the people I talk to just no. That's not what happens. Because, so say you get off methadone and you take it for, we'll just say you're taking it for 2 weeks. Well, then it's like, okay, I'm going to get off the KRATOM. I'm going to kind of taper from the KRATOM and ease my way out of there. So let's just say you're on it for 2 weeks. You're kind of taking a good amount, and then you try to like, okay, and this next week I'm going to taper. Well, that's very difficult because if you're trying to avoid withdrawals in the first place, you don't want to feel it. Well, guess what? You're still getting, methadone goes a long time, okay? Even if you're taking short-acting stuff, dude, it can be very difficult here because you still are going to have a post-acute withdrawal. So let's say you're taking kratom for a couple weeks, 3 weeks, a month, whatever, doesn't matter, and then you're going to start tapering off of that. We'll say a month. Sorry, I know I'm like jumping. I get so specific, but let's just say a month. Well, and then you start tapering off the kratom. Well, now you still are dealing with the underlying methadone withdrawal / pause, blah, 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 okay? So you're dealing with that, okay? Well, then you start tapering from kratom, and then you're going to feel the taper from the freaking kratom if you've been taking it for a month, period. And it sucks. You double up. You're just making it harder on yourself, dude. I'm telling you. And again, it's not regulated. I got more constipated taking kratom. I got way more freaking depressed. Dude, yeah, you think I freaking hate Suboxone and stuff and methadone? Getting depressed on that stuff, like, I got way more depressed on kratom. I hated it. I'm you know what? I got to a point, this is no joke. I'm talking about how bad methadone is, but I got to a point, this is what I'm thinking before I jumped. And I jumped off of, we'll just say 3 ounces a day. I just jumped off, period. I didn't taper or nothing. And I went a month and a half. It sucked, but I worked through the whole thing. I really did. It sucked. And you can, but anyway, sorry. But before I jumped, sorry about that. Before I jumped, I thought, you know what? I was happier I was less miserable on methadone. That's a better way to put it. I was less miserable on methadone, is what I thought. And I would have gone on other stuff, but that's all I could find at the time was methadone. So that was my option. But I remember thinking that I was miserable. The thing is with kratom too, when you get more dependent to, how it is, we get dependent to it and more and more and more and more, and you're taking high amounts of kratom, I just remember being in this funk fog freaking thing, and it just sucked. I just wasn't myself at all. And that was terrible. But a lot of people are already in the kratom pickle. It is what it is. I was in the kratom pickle. You're in the kratom pickle. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, you can taper off kratom. I'm talking to that guy in Lithuania. He's freaking tapering off kratom. He's down to 10 grams a day from 30. But here we go too. This is another thing. I'm talking to a couple people right now that are, no joke, getting on Suboxone to get off kratom. Okay, getting on Suboxone to get off kratom. Okay. That is what it is for them. Okay. So just think about that. Like, and there's a post-acute withdrawals with kratom, dude. There is a post-acute withdrawals with kratom. It's not going to be as long as the other two. So this is where this is where, I'm just spouting my opinions, but these are just things you got to think about. Like, yeah, it's going to be longer with that. Just don't even F around with methadone. If it's too late, it's too late. Okay. But still, like, the people I talked to that were really taking it and got off of it, they'll tell you, typically the people I talk to are like 3 to 4 months of kind of a post-acute stuff. It's very mental at the beginning too. It's very mental, probably because of all the different alkaloids and stuff. Seriously, it's a little different. Yes, I would say that opioids are definitely harder to get off than kratom, but some people find kratom to be harder. And it's just there's a different aspect to it, okay? So understand that. And again, so this is what I would say, I guess. Let's just say F methadone. I don't even want to put methadone. No, methadone would be last place for a maintenance drug for me, okay? You can get higher on it than than buprenorphine and kratom. It's just terrible, okay? Blah, 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 blah. You guys know I hate methadone. I am effing anti-methadone, dude. I think it's terrible, if I haven't said that already. But if I was legit, and you guys know I hate Suboxone, in my life, it is a tool, whatever, and that's the thing too. I'll get into that another time. But if I was buprenorphine or kratom, as far as a maintenance drug, I would give the nod to buprenorphine, I think. Really, I really, really do. Even though it's harder to get off of, in my opinion, it's just what gets me. And I think with me personally, in this, there's going to be a bias here. I have had health problems from taking supplements and stuff, and liver problems. And there's things that scare me, and kratom does go through your liver, okay? But you know, I'm one of those people where I like to look at data and blah, 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 blah. I mean, I'm a nerd, and it just bothers me when kratom's not regulated and we don't know long-term effects on certain things here. You know what I mean? That's where I would have my reservations. Whereas as crappy as buprenorphine is, as crappy as it is being on Suboxone, and you know the game, you know what it's going to take. You know, it's, you know, a good positive thing about it is it is, you know, you can taper off of it fairly easy, relatively speaking, compared to other crap. That's what I'm saying. You know, I have found that. So that's a good thing about it. That is a good thing about it right there. And that's part of and that's the thing. You got give and take, right? I mean, that's just what it is. You know, it's like, well, because it's easier to taper off of, I know I'm going on Suboxone, but whatever. It is a comparison video, I guess, is, you know, that you kind of, you trade off. You're like, okay, long half-life, easier taper, long half-life, long post-acute withdrawals. I mean, that's the thing that, like we always talk about, the payment must be paid, right, in full. And you're going to pay it, you know, in different ways, no matter what. So that's where I'd have big reservations with kratom. Is just it's the Wild West more so. You know, you're getting at mini marts. I know there's people that are like, hey, I'm online, I can get it. You know, this and this and this. It's pure, and you know, maybe. I mean, you'd have to test it. You know, we know people. I mean, we know things. That's the thing. There's data where it's been tested, and there's been morphine and Vicodin in it. You know, especially these mini marts. You know, get capsules and stuff. It doesn't have to be capsules, but just be aware of that. So this is just my opinion. And honestly, if someone disagrees and says kratom, I could get on here and make a legitimate case for kratom too. In fact, I could make a very good case for kratom, but there's things that you're going to pay it anyway. It's going to suck, and there's people that find getting off kratom is harder, and all the other reasons I talked about. God bless! I think I might make one more video. God bless all y'all, and salute.